I died on a Tuesday, not in some heroic way, not saving a child, not stopping a robbery. I died because I was stupid enough to trust my wife. The last thing I remembered from my first life was blood running down my forehead while rain slammed against the windshield. My car had flipped twice after the brakes failed on a mountain road outside Seattle. The police called it an accident. But it wasn't, because before I lost consciousness, I saw the message on my phone. Everything's done. He'll never bother us again. Sent from my wife Claire to my business partner Ethan. 7 years of marriage. 10 years of friendship. And they murdered me for insurance money and company shares. Then everything went black. I thought death would be peaceful. Instead, I woke up choking. My eyes snapped open and I sat upright in bed gasping for air while cold sweat soaked my body. Loud music blasted somewhere nearby. My head throbbed violently. What the hell? A woman laughed from another room. I looked around in confusion. Luxury ceiling. Dark blue walls. Massive television. Expensive whiskey bottles. This wasn't my house. I stumbled toward the mirror hanging beside the bed and nearly collapsed. The face staring back at me wasn't mine. The man in the reflection looked younger. Sharper jawline. Black hair instead of brown. A small scar over his eyebrow. I knew this face. No, that was impossible. Because this was Adrian Vale. The villain from the web novel I used to read during sleepless nights at work. My breathing stopped. No way. Adrian Vale was one of the richest characters in the story Fallen Crown. A genius investor, ruthless businessman, cold-hearted monster, and he died horribly, betrayed by his fiancée, manipulated by his younger brother, poisoned during a charity banquet. I remembered everything because I had finished the novel only 2 weeks before my death. And now, I was him. A sharp pain exploded inside my skull. Memories poured into my head like floodwater. Adrian's memories, private schools, board meetings, women, fights, contracts, loneliness. Then one memory hit harder than the others. Tonight, the engagement party. The same party where Adrian's fiancée Isabella would secretly meet his younger brother Lucas in the hotel lounge. The affair started tonight, which meant I had transmigrated into the novel 3 months before Adrian's death. I stared at myself in the mirror, then suddenly started laughing. Not because it was funny, because fate was insane. In my first life, I trusted the wrong people and died like an idiot. Now I had a second chance inside a novel where everyone already planned to betray me. This time, I wasn't dying. A loud knock hit the bedroom door. "Mr. Vale?" a nervous voice called. "Miss Isabella is asking for you downstairs." I closed my eyes slowly. Game on. I changed clothes quickly and walked downstairs while organizing my thoughts. The mansion was exactly how the novel described it. Massive crystal chandelier, marble floors, paintings worth millions hanging across the walls. Dozens of wealthy guests filled the ballroom downstairs. Politicians, actors, investors, fake smiles everywhere. At the center stood Isabella Lauron. Beautiful, elegant, deadly. Long silver dress hugging her body perfectly while diamonds sparkled around her neck. Every man in the room stared at her. In the novel, Adrian worshipped her. Poor bastard. She noticed me immediately and smiled sweetly. "Adrian," she said softly while wrapping her arm around mine. "You disappeared." Her perfume hit me instantly. And strangely enough, anger rose inside my chest. Not because of Isabella. Because she reminded me of Claire. Same fake sweetness. Same lying eyes. "I needed air," I replied calmly. "You look pale." "I'm fine." She studied me carefully, probably noticing something different in my behavior. Good. Let her wonder. Lucas appeared beside us carrying 2 champagne glasses. The younger brother. Golden boy of the Vale family. Warm smile. Friendly personality. Secret snake. "Big brother," he said cheerfully. "Happy engagement." I looked at him for 3 full seconds before accepting the glass. In the novel, Adrian never noticed how often Lucas touched Isabella casually. The shoulder, the waist, the little glances. But now that I knew the truth, It was obvious. They were already sleeping together. I almost laughed. "You okay?" Lucas asked. "Why wouldn't I be? You're staring at me strangely." Maybe I finally started seeing clearly. His smile twitched slightly. Interesting. The original Adrian was emotional and impulsive. I wasn't. Years of corporate negotiations in my first life had taught me patience. And patient men were dangerous. The party continued. People congratulated us nonstop. But I kept observing. Every movement, every glance, every lie. At exactly 9:17 p.m., Isabella leaned close to me. "I need to touch up my makeup," she whispered. In the novel, Adrian kissed her forehead and stayed talking with investors. Meanwhile, Isabella secretly met Lucas in the private lounge upstairs. That moment became the start of Adrian's destruction. But tonight, the script was changing. "Of course," I said gently. She smiled and walked away. 30 seconds later, Lucas checked his phone and excused himself too. I waited 1 minute before following. The upstairs hallway was quiet. Dim lights, soft music echoing from downstairs. And there they were, inside the private lounge, kissing. Lucas had Isabella pinned lightly against the wall while she laughed breathlessly. "You're terrible," she whispered. "He suspects nothing. Adrian worships me. That man would apologize if I stabbed him." They both laughed. My chest tightened, not because I loved her, but because betrayal sounded the same in every universe. Lucas brushed her hair back gently. 3 more months, he said. "Once father signs the transfer papers, everything falls into place." "And Adrian?" Lucas smirked. "He dies during the charity banquet exactly like planned." Silence. Then Isabella asked quietly, "Are you sure the poison can't be traced?" My eyes went cold. So the poisoning plot was already prepared. Interesting. Very interesting. I pulled out my phone calmly and recorded everything. Every word. Every confession. Then I stepped into the room slowly. "Well," I said softly, "this is awkward." Both of them froze. The color drained from Isabella's face instantly. Lucas reacted first. "Adrian." "Continue," I interrupted calmly. "I'm curious about the poisoning part." Silence exploded between us. Isabella stepped away from Lucas immediately. "It's not what you think." "Really?" I asked. "Because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like conspiracy and incest-like betrayal." Lucas hardened his expression. "You're drunk."
No.
"But you two apparently are stupid." I held up my phone slightly. The moment they realized I recorded everything, panic flashed across their faces. "Beautiful." Isabella rushed toward me. "Adrian, please listen." I stepped back. "Don't touch me." Her eyes widened. The original Adrian would have screamed, maybe cried, maybe begged. I didn't. That frightened them more. Lucas straightened his suit slowly. "What do you want?" There it was. Not apology. Not shame. Negotiation. Rich people truly were predictable. I smiled faintly. "Oh, brother," I said quietly. "You should be asking what I'm going to do." Downstairs, the engagement party music continued playing while 3 lives quietly collapsed upstairs. And for the first time since waking up in this world, I finally felt alive. Lucas stared at me carefully, the confident smile gone from his face now. Good. Fear suited him. Isabella tried recovering first. She stepped forward slowly, tears already forming in her eyes like some award-winning actress. "Adrian, please," she whispered. "You're misunderstanding everything." I almost admired how fast she switched roles. Caught cheating and discussing murder? Cry immediately. Classic. "You know," I said calmly, "in my experience, innocent people usually don't ask if poison can be traced." Lucas folded his arms. "What exactly do you want?" "Still negotiating." "Interesting." I slipped my phone back into my pocket. "Relax. If I wanted security involved, they'd already be here." That confused them, because they expected rage, violence, chaos. Instead, I looked completely calm. But calm men are dangerous when they stop caring. Isabella grabbed my arm carefully. Please let's talk privately. We are talking privately. You know what I mean. I stared at her for a long moment. She really was beautiful. The kind of woman who could destroy weak men without effort. Unfortunately for her, I already died once because of a woman exactly like her. That lesson sticks with you. You have 10 seconds, I said. She swallowed nervously. Lucas and I made a mistake. 1. It just happened. 2. We never meant to hurt you. 3. Lucas suddenly stepped in. Enough games. What do you actually want, Adrian? There it was again. The assumption that everything had a price. Maybe it did. But not tonight. I smiled faintly. I want front row seats. Their expressions tightened. What? Isabella asked quietly. I know how this story ends, I replied. And honestly, I'm curious how hard both of you crash trying to escape it. Lucas narrowed his eyes. You're acting insane.
No.
I'm acting awake. I walked toward the door before stopping beside him. Oh, and one more thing, I added softly. Try poisoning me and I'll bury both of you so deep your own mother won't find the bodies. Then I left. The ballroom downstairs still buzzed with laughter and music. Nobody noticed the future of the Vale family had just changed upstairs. I walked straight toward the bar. Whiskey, I told the bartender. He poured immediately. I drank slowly while thinking through everything. In the novel, Adrian lost because he reacted emotionally. He confronted people too early, trusted the wrong allies, ignored financial traps. But I already knew the plot. That gave me power, and power meant survival. My phone buzzed suddenly. Unknown number. I answered carefully. Hello. A woman's voice spoke softly. You're different tonight. I frowned slightly. Who is this? You really forgot me? The voice sounded familiar somehow. Then memory clicked.
Selene Hart.
Ah, now things got interesting. In the novel, Celine was one of the few people genuinely loyal to Adrian. Childhood friend. Corporate attorney. Secretly in love with him for years. Original Adrian ignored her completely because he obsessed over Isabella. Idiot. She told you yes tonight, didn't she? Celine asked quietly. I looked across the ballroom toward Isabella. She stood beside Lucas pretending nothing happened. Actors. All plans change eventually, I replied. Silence. Then Celine laughed softly. Okay, now I know something's definitely wrong. Can we meet tomorrow? Tomorrow. Yes. Another pause. Sure, she answered carefully. My office. Perfect. The call ended. I leaned back against the bar slowly. Step 1. Survive. Step 2. Destroy enemies. Step 3. Rewrite destiny. Easy enough. Unfortunately, life loved complications. My father arrived 20 minutes later.
Vitor Vale.
Founder of Vale Industries. Cold-eyed titan worth billions. Even standing still, the man felt dangerous. Adrian, he said sharply. Walk with me. We moved toward the private balcony overlooking the city skyline. The second the doors closed behind us, his expression hardened. You embarrassed Isabella tonight. Interesting. So she complained already. What exactly did she tell you? That you accused her and Lucas of inappropriate behavior. I looked at him carefully. In the novel, Victor never truly loved Adrian. Lucas was his favorite son. But Victor valued strength above everything else. Weakness disgusted him. I didn't accuse them, I said calmly. I caught them. Silence. The city lights reflected across his face while he studied me. You have proof.
Ido.
Show me. I pulled out my phone and handed it over. Victor watched the video without changing expression. But when the poisoning conversation started, his eyes became terrifying. By the end, the balcony felt freezing cold. He handed the phone back slowly. When did you discover this? Tonight. And your response was surprisingly controlled. I'm trying something new called thinking before reacting. That almost made him smile. Almost. What do you intend to do? Depends. What do you intend to do? Victor looked toward the ballroom windows. Lucas disappoints me, he said quietly. Not anger. Disappointment. Strangely colder. And Isabella? I asked. She's irrelevant. That answer told me everything about the man. People were chess pieces to him. Useful or useless. Nothing more. Finally he looked at me directly. You've changed tonight. So people keep saying. Good, he replied. The old Adrian would have broken emotionally. The man standing here now looks dangerous. I said nothing. Victor adjusted his cufflinks slowly. Do not act publicly yet. Let them think they still control the board. Finally, someone speaking my language. I already started doing exactly that. His eyes narrowed slightly with approval. Tomorrow morning, he continued, come to my office. There are things about the company you clearly should have learned years ago. Then he walked away. Interesting. Very interesting. In the original novel, Victor never respected Adrian until shortly before his death. But tonight, something shifted. I finished my whiskey quietly before leaving the party early. Back at the mansion, I locked every door personally. Paranoia keeps people alive. Around midnight, another memory surfaced from Adrian's mind. The charity banquet poisoning wasn't the only danger. There was also the financial collapse. Lucas and Isabella planned to manipulate company shares using fake investments tied to Adrian's name. After his death, everything transferred smoothly to Lucas. Clever. Evil. But clever. I sat inside the dark office reviewing documents on Adrian's computer until sunrise. And the deeper I looked, the uglier everything became. Fake shell companies. Suspicious transfers. Forged signatures prepared in advance. These people really planned everything. My phone buzzed again around 3 a.m. This time it was Isabella. I almost ignored it. Almost. What? I answered coldly. Her breathing sounded shaky. Can we talk? We already did. Please, Adrian. Funny how cheaters suddenly become emotional after consequences appear. I loved you, she whispered.
No, irrapliakiatli.
You loved comfort. Silence. Then soft crying. Normally that would affect me, but I remembered dying alone in twisted metal while Claire texted another man. Some wounds permanently kill sympathy. You don't understand, Isabella said weakly. Lucas manipulated me. I laughed softly. Do you know the saddest part? What? If you had simply left honestly, I would have respected you. Another silence. Then she whispered, what are you going to do to us? I stared out the mansion window at the sleeping city. Nothing, I said calmly. That frightened her more than threats. Because revenge has patterns. Silence doesn't. I ended the call. The next morning, I arrived at Vale Industries headquarters wearing a black tailored suit and zero patience. Employees greeted me nervously as I entered the executive floor. The original Adrian rarely came here personally. That changes now. Victor's secretary immediately stood. Mr. Vale is waiting. I entered the massive office quietly. Victor sat behind his desk reviewing files. Without looking up, he said, close the door. I obeyed. Then he tossed a thick folder toward me. Read. I opened it carefully, and nearly laughed. Because inside were documents exposing Lucas completely. Private investigators. Bank records. Photos. Victor already suspected him for months. You knew? I asked. I suspected, he corrected. But suspicion without proof is useless. And now, Victor finally looked up. Now my elder son decides whether his brother deserves mercy. That was a dangerous amount of power to hand someone. But before I could answer, the office doors suddenly burst open. Lucas stormed inside furiously. You set me up, he snapped. Victor's face darkened instantly. Did I give permission for you to enter? Lucas ignored him completely while glaring at me. What did you tell him? Only the truth. You think you've won? Lucas hissed.
No, irraplia calmly.
I think you made mistakes. His fists clenched. Then suddenly he laughed. Actually laughed. You really think Isabella cares about you? He sneered. She spent months laughing behind your back. I leaned back calmly. Probably. That clearly wasn't the reaction he expected. Lucas stared at me strangely. You don't care. Oh, I care, I answered softly. But not enough to destroy myself over trash. That hit him harder than yelling would have. Victor stood slowly. Get out. Lucas looked stunned. Father, you attempted to murder your brother. He has no proof. I held up my phone slightly. Lucas went pale. Victor's voice became ice cold. You will surrender access to every company account immediately. Effective today, you are suspended. If the story made you feel something, leave a like. Not every story is meant to comfort you. Some are meant to follow you. And if this one stays with you, subscribe, because the next one goes even deeper.